Is this a national election? Is this a series of local elections? How do you see it?
So far, I see it as a nationalized election with the aberration of the localization in many places now. With the opposition has successfully converted them into a localized elections. But those localization of the elections, that Barkha has happened largely on the ground of a wrong ticket distribution by the BJP. Wherever the BJP's, there was a chink in the armor that, okay, उनका आदमी कोई नाराज हो गया, कोई रेबल खड़ा हो गया, किसी बड़े का टिकट काट दिया, गलत इक्वेशन वाले को टिकट दे दिया, आउटसाइडर को टिकट दे दिया, इंपोर्टेड को टिकट दे दिया. Wherever those kind of things have happened, opposition has tried to make it localized there because of these issues. So yes, full marks to them to at least try to make them localized. Full marks to them actually converting those seats into localized election. But when I say these things have happened, I am not saying it that is happening as a generalized trend. Because if you look into the media reports, and I've been reading a lot, I mean, all my reporter friends, whatsoever they are fielding from the ground, the seats, say for example, in Rajasthan, there are 5 seats where there is perceived to be a very good contest. The turnout is very healthy, and there are extremely important localized equations. कहीं कुछ नाराज है, कहीं कुछ नाराज है, कोई पुराने का कटा, and all those things that happen. Similarly, there are few seats, three seats in Madhya Pradesh, 2 seats in Delhi, or for example, significant number of now seats, about 15 to 20 seats in UP, for example, where the localized equations have become important, critical, and they have become very important because of wrong selection or continuation by the BJP of a non-performing member of parliament, which is kind of odd because BJP has been very good in chopping off the tickets of the non-performing MPs, but still that has happened. Now, 2 things are important to understand here. Number 1, whether that localization of the election is big enough to cause trouble to the BJP, or whether BJP can, or Prime Minister Modi can, by his personal sway, whitewash that entire localization and once again tied back on that day. However, one thing which I want to underline again here, the aberration or localization are not a generic phenomena, not a generalization. Aberrations remain aberrations. And the number of the aberration seats where the opposition is making inroads or giving a good contest in really strong BJP strongholds are as good as the aberration seats of where BJP has been a big zero and they are trying to make an inroad. So Rajasthan's 5 seats aberrations are as good as BJP's 3 seats aberration in Tamil Nadu or 3 seats aberrations in Kerala, for that matter. So yes, when you count them in from the turnout perspective, again I'm saying, and the local reports that I have been referring to you, if there are 25 to 30 aberration seats coming up for the opposition, then there are 25 to 30 aberration seats which are opening up for the BJP in the greenfield states. So again, the sum total is 0. This is why when I said that it looks like a zero wave election, because the tide came, the tide doesn't seem like going back. I don't sense that kind of anger or apathy that the people either sit at home like 2004, that has not happened, or people are on the ground agitated, taking marches, going all out, in that way, for or against this way, just like you said, there is neither hyper excitement nor hyper pessimism. People are just, what shall I say, Gunguna to Hindi shabd ho gaya, but people are stable. They say their things quietly, but there is also a very significant number of people. When you talk, you realize they are kind of predetermined. They are kind of pre-decided what they want.
Would that mean that very few people would actually change their political positions?
Exactly. And this is happening in anti-BJP and pro-BJP both ways. Now.
So who decides the election then? Or what decides the election?
Organizations decides the election, because in a good contest or the low turnout contest, eventually it will also become very important for us to see who is more keen and who has a better hunger for victory and who is more driven by the fact that I have to use my organization, pull the people, my supporters out of their home and put them into the line. That is where the keener contest elections are going to be decided.
पर इस बारी ये भी बहुत बात हुई है about despondent RSS workers, the anxiety over the import of outsiders. You know, the BJP had to struggle with some of those battles for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and these are the loose ends of the BJP, which the opposition has been exposing and successfully making a significant number of seats as a battleground seats. So that is something which the opposition has played well. Only thing from that side of the theory where I am a bit reserved on calling that is they have decided to localize the election after almost about 5 years of centralizing the election in their campaign and narrative. So
you mean they made it about Modi? The opposition made it about Modi for 5 years, and now they want to localize it.
So in the last 3 months, so it's like for 4 year and 8 months we remained centralized, and in the last 4 months we decided to make it localized. Now, whether it is too late, whether it is too late a realization, whether it is too late to execute, whether it is too late to damage the BJP to the extent they wish to damage, that is something which we will know only when we have the numbers and we have the actual results. Honestly, not even numbers. Even in the numbers, some states, not everybody would be clear ki kya hua. Some states will always defy the polling numbers in that way. So we will have to even wait for the actual results where they come in. So I mean, from that perspective, I think they waited way too long to localize it. And Prime Minister is trying his very best to centralize it, obviously. I mean, this election is about him. People have voted for 14 and 19 for him. People are voting either in his favor or against him. So he is the central theme.
But Neerja Chaudhary had a very interesting line, and she said ki आक्रोश तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, which I agree with, you and I agree with. She said, लेकिन what about Ankush? You see, the Indian voter doesn't like unbridled power. वो कहते हैं कि हम आपको वोट देंगे, लेकिन आपकी ये बातें अच्छी हैं, ये बात थोड़ा चेंज कर लीजिए. Now the opposition is counting on that kind of incremental decline in the hope that the BJP may fall below majority. What do you say about this thinking? Is it wishful thinking? Is there some math to it?
No, I think it is more of a wishful thinking. Again, I am saying that this is not a proactive approach. They are wishing for something कि संघ वाले नाराज हो जाए ना निकले, बीजेपी के लोग नाराज हो जाए ना निकले, अंकुश लगा दे ना निकले. Arvind Kejriwal also had a one-liner कि ये योगी को नहीं बनने देंगे. So basically, you are trying to do something which is like looking out for the things कि ये इनके हिसाब से. But this is not a proactive approach. What I'm saying, proactive approach is like when you have a significantly popular, bullish leader, aggressive leader, takes it heads on. Now, Rahul Gandhi ji takes it heads on, no doubt, aggressive, but he is not popular. So, popular, aggressive, taking heads on. These are the three things. So, two things is the checklist one, okay. But he, as far as the masses are considered, all the numbers, not just mind tracker and everything, we have seen his numbers with Modi, Rahul Gandhi and Modi are 1:2. I mean, there is no competition as such on that ground. So something hits me there that, okay, a lot might seem to be changing, or a lot, the more things change, they remain the same. So these are the things that we have to battle and grapple through in the data.
Before we